I shall now reveal the secret technique of the Eldritch Ninja Clan, passed on from generation to generation in their hidden mountain compound. No, what I am about to pass on is a crappy little thing that I do called doodling. I suck at drawing, and one of the ways I suck at drawing things that I want to draw. So, like, if I want to draw a cup, and this will suck even more because it's on the computer. Womp. 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 Chirp. Chirp. Womp, 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 womp. There you go. It's a cup. Number one DM. Awesome. No. What I would do, this came out of a game we used to play as kids, and one of the things you had to do during the game, you had to have two players. One of the players would close his eyes and the other player would generate a random number. And the way I used to generate the random numbers, I would draw a spiral, not that fast though. So they would close their eyes and say go, and I would draw a spiral about this quickly. And then they'd say stop, and I'd stop, and I would draw a line, and then draw another line, and then count the sections. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that would be the number 6. I saw someone else, they would just put dots at random, and then when the person said stop, they'd stop, and so here this would be 7 as the random number. And when I saw that, sometime later, I'm going to give myself all the credit for this idea, but I don't actually remember where I got what the origin of it was. I just had the idea that this is a solo game. You get yourself a piece of paper, blank white paper works great, and a pencil. Close your eyes and just make some random dots on the paper. And by random, I mean you don't want to think about where you're putting them. So there you go. I know you can't tell if I have my eyes closed or not, but you just do it that way. And then, having put, having put these random dots on, you can put as many as you want. I like to put it anywhere from 5. 5 is a little bit too little. I usually like to keep in the 10 to 20 range. How many do I have here? 5, 10, 13. That's good. And then you connect them. Now, if you just connect them like this, you just end up with kind of like a big blob. This one is like a musical note or a vacuum or a... I don't want to do this, but I will. It's a retarded Pac-Man. Wagga wagga. No. You want to add some spice and variety. The easiest way is to alternate between concave and convex shapes. So like to connect that, you can do concaves or you can do these convexes where they loop out. But you want to add a little bit of variety to it. What I think I'm going to do here is that into that. And then another way to do it is to link together dots that you wouldn't normally think link together. So like if I do this, this is actually going to come out looking really crappy. But you could do it like that. So by that set of dots that made that crappy looking musical note now makes this badass looking whatever this is. And the second thing is now you take a look at the figure as it is, and then you slowly turn the paper until you see something. I already see something. If this was just a stupid doodle, this guy would have like an eye right here, and then here is his mouth, and then this is his nose, and there would probably be like a nostril right here. And that might be like a lip or something, and he would have a big tongue, like that. And this is his butt right here. Now it looks like he's got a hat on his butt. And then these are his legs. But I don't like that. And I can't get rid of the rest of that. Wonderful. Come here. Let's erase this. Now, this is originally a doodling technique. It's by technique. That makes it sound so awesome, doesn't it? My mouse went weird. I was going down, but my mouse moved left on screen. Let's reconnect to this section. Oh, look at that. I'm an artistic restorer. It's a doodling technique. So all it really helps you do is make doodles. Ooh, that looks kind of cool. I can see like a big face here and then like this tail coming around with like a stinger or something at the back end. Rotate. That is like a snake body with a bat wings on the back. Rotate again. And that one is like a snake body with bat wings and bat head. So there's any number of ways to do it, but once you find one that you like, and I think I like rotate by 180, this one. I think I like this one, I'm not sure. You then can just fill in the details, and you're allowed to, of course, you do it in pencil because you want to be able to change it up as needed. Just make that a little bit thinner. I think I'm going to have his eye here. Yep, that's a nice eye. And then like his little mouth right there. Wonderful. And he's putting his wings in front of him. And let's go ahead and make this a stinger tail. So I want to erase this a bit because it's too thick. We're going to have to taper it off a bit better. Alright, come here. There we go. Again, I suck at drawing. I think I mentioned this. If I did not, allow me to mention that I suck at drawing. Let's make it blood red. Blood red stinger. And he can be green. Look, it's like Trogdor, almost. And again, he's buffeting his wings forward. Let's go ahead and... I think his wings should be a little pointier, so I would make them, you know, a little bit more concave here. Just because I suck at art. And I thought I switched you over to this tool. Ooh, look at that. Oh, no, I screwed that part up. I love the undo button. There's no undo button on paper. Maybe the one good thing about this. Thank you. And once more. I love it if anybody is actually still watching this. It's like, dude, this guy who sucks at art is doodling. I totally gotta watch this. And I have no clue what this part of it is. I don't know. It's just a spike on its back. Maybe it's got a little sail back here or something. Who knows? So this is a really crappy drawing, but that's kind of the point. Now, what is the actual point of this? Well, every once in a while, you find a cool looking drawing and you turn it into a monster. And that happened only a couple times. I mean, I specifically set out, there was an issue of Dragon magazine for 3rd edition that included an article on how to design monsters. And the design section was just how to build the rules part of a monster and have it come out reasonably balanced around a certain level. But it didn't tell you, you know, how to come up with ideas for monsters or anything like that. Well, I decided I was going to just do one of these dot line drawings and make up a monster based on whatever line drawing came out. This would be a particularly crappy monster, but it would be a monster nonetheless. This, on the other hand, is it's a second crappy rendition of the monster I originally made. I did this drawing the exact same way. There's a dot up here, here, one here, 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 and here. This same dot right here. And so what I did was I went out like this, over, 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 down, over, and then this big hump right here. And then what I ended up seeing was this giant bat-winged, spiked eyeball, flying eyeball creature. Now, I had drawn a creature that looked almost exactly like this in form, if not, you know, it had a slightly different profile. If you turned this another quarter of the way around so that you could see 2 wings and then the talon tail. By the way, for some reason, I just love these talon-tipped tails, these spiked tails, as you would see with scorpions and things, and wyverns and wyverns, such as that. So you see them a lot in my drawings, just because they're cool, and because I just love the spiky portion. Like right here, there's another big spiky portion. And I made a monster based on this thing. and it had a poison tip tail, and it had a gaze attack, and it could fly, and it was kind of cool. So this is a essentially a throwaway video where I got to doodle at you for 10 minutes, and then I drew this crappy looking guy here. And I can add a little bit of scales to him. Let's go ahead and choose a more different green color and add some scales. Look at this is my scale technique. See this, Tioman? I had to restart the video because in the last video, Tioman signed on to MSN Messenger and messaged me, and I'm like, wait, no, you give me a second. I'm recording a video. So Tioman, if you're wondering what video you interrupted me recording, this was it. It was not Medal of Honor. If it was Medal of Honor, I would not have talked to you because Medal of Honor is a full screen application. Why am I still talking? Why is this video continuing? Why is there scales only on this portion of its body? Why do I think that this looks anything like scales? I don't know. I'm kind of embarrassed with my lack of artistic ability. And there's Tioman again. In college, actually, in my art class, we had to just submit 5 doodles at the very first day of class, and this is how I did every single one of them. Embellish to taste. It works better on paper. Bye-bye.